Hello, everybody, and welcome to Your World on the Canvas. And the Celtics lost the game, not won the place. And I say this only to say that they missed free throws. I'm not talking about the one where Marcus missed purposely. It should never came to that. In spite of them playing that badly, if they simply made their free throws, they would have won. On top of that, we had a bad game from Marcus and Jayson. Those are the two that haven't figured it out yet. Jalen figured it out right after game one. He's been a steady factor, averaging over 25 points a game. And the Celtics, should take heart in that this man, in spite of all the heat that he has been taking, that people have been saying, oh, you have to get rid of him. They can't coexist. But where would the Celtics be now without Jaylen Brown? Where would they be now? Tatum has been wildly inconsistent. His inconsistency is hurting them. His inconsistency will cause them to lose this series. He has to figure out a way to stay on an even keel. Stop looking for the refs to bail you out. Stop driving to the lane looking for when you take the contact to try to draw a foul instead of just going and taking the contact and going for the shot like Giannis does. Regardless of whether they call the foul or not, he does not complain. You built your frame up over the summer for a reason, right? So that you could take the pounding. At 6'8", you shouldn't be shrinking. At 6'8", with the game on the line, you shouldn't be looking for draw an offensive foul on Drew Holiday when Drew Holiday is 6'4" and you're 6'8", and all you have to do is use your 7 foot wingspan. I do believe your wingspan is kind of 7 foot long. So those areas where the inattention to detail, I do not want to use other words to describe that, of which, is not really great for me to say, for things like that. But, I'm saying we like I play. I mean, the Celtics are in trouble if Jayson Tatum doesn't step up like Jaylen Brown has been doing. Finding the position, getting your teammates involved, things like that. You stop hunting for your shot first. Get your teammates involved first, and then you will see the floodgates open up. But your approach again was about to shoot first, ask questions later. And when you've done that, it does not work for the team. It does not work for you. The level of frustration continue to build, and your teammates look at your side. I'm like, dude, come on. Jalen is buzzing behind. Jalen is essentially walking out there on one leg. He does have hamstring trouble. And of course, Marcus, the defensive player of the year. If you're out there, this isn't about your quad at this moment. It's about your ability to think the game and get your team in position so that they could get for the best possible shot. So again, Marcus, the question of can you run a championship team will haunt you if the Celtics do not make it past this round to the Eastern Conference Finals. These are the things that we are waiting to see from you. I think the refs made the right call. I mean, you would look at what happened. What happened was it's the bump simultaneously he bumped you, then he swiped down on your hand. On your hand. So there was a foul, but the bump came before the shot. If you look at it, they did make the right call, but the thing is this: if it was Giannis, Chris Middleton, they would call the 3-point, say it was a 3-point shot. That it wasn't on the shot. That it was a 2. That it was on the floor. Therefore 2. I mean, that they would have been a 3-point shot. They were attempting the shot. Again, time situation. But again, Marcus should have never put himself in that position. The team should not have put himself in that position. Jayson Tatum and Marcus Smart are all out of sorts. Marcus has met an equal bully in him, as him, and Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday is getting the best of Marcus right now. And Marcus needs to figure it out. Tatum needs to just play ball, stop complaining to the refs, and stop with the dramatics. Because without Tatum getting it together, and it doesn't have to be about your shooting. It doesn't have to be about Jason's shooting, rebounding, defense, setting the pick, the hockey assist, all the other aspects of the game that does not involve shooting. Jayson at times conveniently forgets that he has those skills. He relies on his offensive skills too much. And when he plays an all-around game, when he plays on both sides of the ball, the offense comes, more easily to him. Laws of attraction. When he hunts when he feels like he has to save the day, he's got to get out of that mentality. You cannot save the day like that, because you have the sum of the parts is greater, are not greater than the whole. The whole is what's going to get you there. The whole is going to define whether or not you move forward and keep moving until you get to the NBA Finals. Game 4, again, just like Game 2, is the time for Jayson Tatum to step up, elevate his game, and be consistent on both sides of the ball. Consistency matters. Have to be honest about that. Regardless of how many shots he had taken the first 2 games, he was consistent in his approach, in the way he played on both sides of the ball. And you say you are a two-way player. The pundits, all media is saying that you are a two-way player. You do not display that in Game 3. Game 4 awaits you. Actually, Game 4 and 5, because the Celtics have to win back-to-back games. And they have yet to prove that they can win 2 in a row. Well, now it begins with 1, and that's Game 4. And Jayson Tatum, it's time for you to show that you can be the man to bring the Celtics to the other side of the ball, which is the Eastern Conference Finals for now.